What's up, guys, and welcome back to part 3 of my Super Smash Bros. Brawl Subspace Emissary playthrough on intense difficulty. And wow, that was a mouthful. um, so yeah, we'll just start off this video of what I wanted to talk about of my personal life, so you could get to know me a little better. Recently I was fired from my job. Um, I guess it's okay to talk about it. I don't know about, you know, uh, the legal allegations or whatever that can occur. But I'm not obligated to any contract or anything like that. So I'll just say, yeah, I worked at UPS, um, and I know probably a lot of you have family members or friends who've worked at this company, and the rumors that I heard from it going into it was that um, it's a very tough job, physically and mentally. Uh, even going in for the interview, the way it works is you sign up online for when you want to interview, if they're hiring for a position. You choose what time you want to go. I chose mine at 11 p.m. because UPS is, they work during the night. There's overnight shifts, so that's the position I was going for. I signed up, went in, and as soon as I went inside, all the employees there were like, jokingly, they were like, turn back around, don't work here, blah blah blah, and it was just hilarious. I thought they were just, pulling our legs, because there's a group that you go in with, and I was just like, whatever, they're just messing around. And you know, to find out, it was very tough. It took me actually like 3 weeks to get adjusted. Uh, my body, like, with the constant lifting of, it could be anywhere from 5 pounds to 90-pound boxes that you're lifting for just hours and hours, and it's, your body, uh, it can get acclimated to certain work, but it's not meant to do certain activities that are strenuous for um, you know long amounts of time. Um, that's why you see a lot of fighters. Like, if any of you are kept up with the UFC, or it doesn't even have to be fighting. It could be um, training for the Olympics, or training for some certain competition. All the athletes will tell you, excuse me, um, that when they train for certain competitions, events, it really is like torture on your body. Um, just because the amount of times they keep doing it over and over and over, and it was the same thing with UPS. Um, but yeah, with that aside, I, you know, they fired me because they have a 30-day probation period, um, which I thought was 90 days, but they told me 30. And I called in. I worked there for 6 weeks. I know it was 6 weeks because there was a safety sheet that you have to sign, safety class that you go into, and you sign a safety sheet every night that you're there. And I was on the 6th week, um, which, let's see, 5 days a week, 5 times 6, you do the math, that's 30 plus days that I was already working there. And so yeah, I called in one day because I was just feeling very ill. I would not have been able to work that night. And the next night I come in, my supervisors pull me aside, say, "Can you go to the safety room? We're gonna have a little chat." And immediately I knew what was coming, you know. So they came in and said, "Why were you, absent yesterday?" I said it was because I was ill. And they said, "Okay." And I stopped my supervisor right there, and I said to him, "You gonna fire me?" He said, Well, we'll get to that. And you know, he just told me, Thomas, the time that you've been here, you have been complaining about the work. Uh, you've came in late several times, and I cut him off right there, and I told him, when have I complained? I did have a problem with my arm, but I have never complained about it. Um, if I could blame someone, I would blame them because they were the ones who always kept asking about my arm because they knew I had a little injury. But after the few weeks, I got used to it. My arm healed up. But my supervisor kept asking me about it, constantly every night, badgering me like, do you think you can continue this job? And I've never once doubted myself and said, I don't think I can do this anymore. But according to him, he said I was complaining and that I've been late, which I addressed and said, I've never been late. I've kept track of all my times. I have a personal log sheet. And, he said, he pulled out his log sheet and said, well, it says right here that you've been late. And I was just so shocked and angry that I just didn't even care, like, to look at it. But, I've never came in late. Um, the way they do it is when new hires come in, hirees, I believe. When they come in, they have to go to a safety area for the first 6 weeks to learn about safety and all that stuff. And you sign a sheet. Then after the 15 minutes, you go back to your workstation and clock in, or you clock in before you go to the safety area, which I didn't do a few times, and I'm thinking that's why they said I was late. But technically, I was at work. They did have a time correction sheet, but I was just oblivious to all of this because I was new. And when he told me all this, I try to stand my ground and say, I've never been late. I've worked hard for you guys. I've bled for your company. I literally bled for them. I've gotten injured at the company, which my supervisor only seemed concerned about was whether or not they'd have to pay like a $30,000 fine to reinforce the safety, you know, um, the safety training or whatever. Like when I got injured, so he told me like, do you want to report it or not? And that's the only thing he was concerned about, was losing money from the company, which just it was you know it just wasn't professional to me. Um, but yeah, I didn't know what to do, and I don't have much proof to say like I wasn't late, I've never complained, because it's all he she said, and I would love to put a lawsuit against them, for the way they treated me after I worked my ass off for this company. And I'm probably just gonna let it go because I don't have the funds to hire a really good lawyer. I don't even know if I'd have a case. But if any of you have heard something similar, or any of your friends or brothers or your sisters are lawyers that specialize in something like this, then hit me up in the comments. I'd love to pursue something of this, because it's eating me away whenever I think about it. I just get so angry that this company could do something like this. And this company is the most unprofessional company that I've ever worked for. They fire me for taking off one day when I am ill, and but did they fire other people? And note that I know these people have worked there for 3 to 5 to 10 years. That doesn't mean anything. A worker's a worker. They have to come into work. But yeah, these workers, they would, some of the coworkers I knew, they would not come in for 3 days consecutively in 1 week and not be fired, not get any warning or anything, just because of seniority. And I think that's bullshit. So if any of you know anything that I could do, then just let me know. I mean, my brother's a lawyer, but we're not on talking terms right now, so I can't ask him for help. But yeah, that was what I wanted to talk about. I got fired from UPS. If any of you are thinking about working there, think twice. It's really not worth it. The sweat, the blood. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you later.